Hello, today for our Google Drive organization, we're going to be setting up our folders and organizing our folders and moving stuff into folders. It's all about folders today. So first of all, I've got my Google Drive organized in these blocks. If you want to today, go ahead and switch this to the list view. Either way, I'm going to go back to blocks. Over here on the side, I have all of my Google Drive folders, and I could each one where there is a arrow here, that means I can open it up and that there are subfolders. If it has a little person here, that means that it's shared with somebody, this folder. One of the things that we want to do when we're thinking about organizing our Google Drive is to have some common naming conventions. So you'll see here I've got 2019, 2020, but here I have 2020 startup. So if I wanted to change this so that it was common, because I'm using school years here, then I would right click and I'll go down to rename, and I'm going to change this to 2020-2021 startup so that it is the same as here. So this way we have common naming conventions for all of our apps. I'm going to do the same thing here because this one says 2018, 2019. So I'm just going to rename this to 2018, 2019 so that it is common. Now what it's going to do is it's going to move this over here. So now it's going to go in order. And that's why you want to have a common naming convention for all of this. The next thing is to organize with subfolders. So I'm going to show you how you could do this with your lessons or your grading. And I'm just going to use the example of, a class that you might be teaching, or for the lower levels, maybe you might have 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to create a new folder. So I'm going to click new and then folder. And here I'm going to create my new folder, which is going to be called French. And I'm going to create that. So this is everything that is in French for French class. And here it is. Now, if I double click on this, it's going to open it up and you'll see over here, there's my French folder. It's blued. It's bold because that's the one that I'm in. So now I'm going to create subfolders. So I'm going to click new, and because this is where I am, it's automatically going to create this in this subfolder. So I'm going to click new. And then I'm going to name it French 1. And then I'm going to go into French 1 and I'm going to create folder, and I'm going to put lesson 1. And then I can even do subfolders from lesson 1, but I am not. I'm just going to, in French 1, I'm going to create a new folder from here, and I'm going to call this French or lesson. Up here, this is called, well, there's two things. This is the pathway. So this is showing that it's in Google Drive, and then it's in French, and then it's in French 1. These are also called breadcrumbs because they lead back to where it belongs. So if I wanted to add more things into French here, then I would, I'm going to add French 2. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to add French 2. It can be laborious if you're going in this way, French 1, and then lesson 1, and you're going in there and you're planning your lesson. Yes, that's laborious to do that each time. But what you can do is star this. So if I right click and I add it to the starred, now this whole folder is going to show up under my starred. So you can use that as the things that you are working on right now. So right now I have this lesson 1. I know that's what I'm working on. When I'm done working on lesson 1, I can remove it from the starred and then go to lesson 2, and I'm going to go ahead and star that. It's just like taking the file out of your file cabinet and putting it on your desk because that's what you're working on right then. So using that starred is a really good way to sort of keep track of what you're working on right then. We're going to go later on in the week. We're going to talk about how you can use workplaces, but this is a great way to start. Now, some other ways that you can do fancy things with your, this makes like a little smile. Let me go ahead and I'm going to collapse these so that I don't see them all. But one of the ways that you can personalize this is to add colors. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this main folder, French. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to go down and change the color. And I'm going to go ahead and change that to blue. And so now this folder has turned up blue. I can also add emojis to this. So if you right click and rename, and I'm just renaming it because I didn't do this at the beginning. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to put my emojis at the front. I'm going to right click, and if you're on the Mac, you're going to see emojis and symbols. And so then I can search for emojis. And so let me see what I might put in here. Let me see if the Eiffel Tower's in here. No. What about flag? French flag. Okay. We'll just use the Belgian flag. Good enough. And then I'm going to type French. When you do that, it's going to bring it to the top because remember, Google Drive is putting everything in alphabetical order. So this is going to mean that this flag right here is not considered a letter. So it's going to go ahead. That's why this exclamation point Google Drive, this Potty PD, and then this thing, the Belgian flag in French, show up at the top because it is going in alphabetical order. And those types of things go before the alphabet. Same reason as numbers appear before the alphabet. All right. Now, if you're not on Mac or you want to do other fancy things with emojis, there are two websites that you can use. One is Emojipedia. And so here you can search for the emoji that you want. So let me go ahead and search French flag 1. So I'm going to go down here and find the French flag. Way down. Here we go. Not French Guinea. France. And I can just copy that, go back to my Google Drive, rename, and paste that. Oh, now I got both. That's fine. Oh, there we go. So now I have my French flag. I always like put a space in between the emoji and the word. Just looks nicer. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's not going to change the order of this, but it does make it more pretty. There's another website that you can use, which is called Copy Paste Character. And this one actually has all kinds of different characters. So if you want a punctuation, I can't come up with a reason I would use that, but maybe you can. And now I have a very nice visual for my little folder. Next thing, I always make in each one of my Google Drives, I always make a folder called junk drawer. And the reason why I have that in there is for like things that I know I'm not going to need, or if I'm showing somebody how to do something, or if it's something really quick and I don't want it just hanging out in my drive, I put it in the junk drawer. And you have unlimited storage in Google Drive, in your school Google Drive. So fill that junk drawer up with everything that you are not sure where it should go. Just leave it in there. Okay, so now we're going to move some stuff into our folder. So the way that I like, there's different ways to do this, but I'm going to show you a quick way to move most of your mini files at the same time. So the way that I like to do this is I like to open up this drive. And I'm going to go ahead and click on my drive because I want to get rid of, but I want to organize these things down here. This is what I want to organize. And so the easiest way for me to do this is to have this open on the side, and then I'm going to click and drag. And I'm going to actually, because I'm not going to organize this stuff right now, I'm going to move it all into the junk drawer. So let me go ahead and open up my junk drawer. Oh, look, I don't even have any subfolders in the junk drawer. Here are all my unfiled files. So if I know that this one to this one, this is a pop quiz, this one to this one, I want to move, and they're all in a row, then I need to hold down, go ahead and say it out loud, the Shift key. So I'm going to click Shift, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click, and now I can move all of those at one time. So it says 5 on there because I'm moving them, and now they're all going to move into the junk drawer. Same thing. Why do I have all of these? Copy of check-in forms. Who knows why I have all of these? Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and move those into the junk drawer. So I held down the Shift key. If you go through here and you are just going, okay, so I have some things that need to move, and it's every other one. We're not going to hold down the Shift key, but we're going to hold down the Command key on the Mac. So I'm going to click this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I'm going to move all of those into the junk drawer. So this is a quick way that you can move some of these folders that are just hanging out, that haven't been filed yet, into your drawers. And that's what you're going to be doing today to organize your Google Drive.